Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे मुखम करोति वाचालम पंगम लंगायते गिरिम यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम् हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण dear devotees, grateful for the opportunity to reconnect and share the wisdom of the absolute truth. विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे कवि हस्तिने सुनी चैव स्वपाके च पंडिता समदर्शिना. A learned scholar who would actually see everyone with an equal vision of their not this body but a powerful spirit soul. Brahma janati iti brahmanaha. So this devotee, this Vaishnav has an understanding that is situated in that plane. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. That means he's situated in the transcendental plane. And when then through that situation, he has no inabilities of this world. He's there in this world, but he's not part of this world. Why? Because his actions and activities, janma karma chame divyam, evam yovete tattvadha, tattva deham punarjanma, naiti mameti sorjuna. Krishna's actions and activities are very divya, very transcendental. The moment we hear about that, the moment we discuss, try to think about that, it gives pacification to the heart. The heart becomes pacified. Because Krishna says, when one discuss or thinks or try to understand about me, hears, chants, and smarana, meditates on these things, he will not come again into this material world. But that thing has to be done with utmost devotion. Now, every day we chant Hare Krishna in the morning. The chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra should be done with the devotion. Because the Lord is actually giving us a chance and an opportunity to connect with Him. What kind of connection is this? It is a divine connection which our acharyas are giving. Srila Prabhupada simply says, you just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. When one does that, then what is happening is slowly the relationship is established with the Lord and then the person who gave us. Because through that relationship, through that understanding, what is developing is the taste towards the names will be increased. Just like a sadhu is seeing everyone equally. How? Because he's not seeing them on a bodily platform. What is he seeing? He's seeing them on a soul platform. That means the respect has to be given on a soul platform. Amanitvam, adambitvam. There's two things, humility and pridelessness. Humility and pridelessness. So when this humility is manifested, the humility is manifested when one comes to this plane, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. And Trinadapisarechera. Like, we want to give respect, but do not expect any respect in return. Amanina manadena. The respect has to be given. We shouldn't think, oh, is this person giving me respect? Is this person giving me respect? Then only I'll give respect. If this person is not giving me respect, then I'll not give respect. That is a mixed respect. That is not a pure respect. Because the mixed respect is coming out of expectations. Please understand this, dear devotees. Very important. The respect is mixed. Amanitvam, adambitvam. Amanitvam is humility. Krishna says one should cultivate these qualities. So that humility will be manifested when one respects, reverence, vidya vinaya sampanna. That means, my dear Lord, I am just an amsha. Mameva amso jiva loke. I am your part and parcel, my dear Lord. I do not have any other shelter other than you. You are my go-to shelter. You are my master. You are my proprietor. I am not the master. I am a dasa. I am just a dasa, not even dasa. Dasa anu dasa. Because that is my position. Because amsha means what? Amsha is part and parcel. This part and parcel is only connected to the Lord, not as a vibhu, but as a anu. Just like a fire spark is connected to the fire. The fire spark has an existence. The fire spark goes and connects to the fire. That is the life for the fire. But the moment the fire spark comes away from the fire, it will not sustain for longer period of time. That means, just like a plant, if the plant is connected to the root, then the plant has some substance. Even though the plant looks green, if the plant is not connected to the root, it will dry up. The root is Krishna. One should always be connected to the root. So when the sadhaka aspires to connect to the root, dear devotees, when the sadhaka aspires to connect, then what happens? Then reciprocation comes. Because then one's strength is increased, bala. The name of Balarama, in the name of Balarama, there is Bala. He represents the spiritual master, Balarama. That Bala, he gives that Bala to the spiritual master. And then that's how spiritual master will speak. That's how they discuss. Because from where the Bala is coming? The Bala is coming from the superiors, from their spiritual master. From him, where is coming? From his spiritual master. That's how from where it is coming from the root, which is Bala, Balarama. That root is a source for everything, dear devotees. Please understand this. When one aspires for that root, then he gets that connection. For example, you're thirsty. Let's say there is Nirjala Ekadashi, you're fasting, and when you're serving, and then somehow you're thirsty. After one day of fasting, you did not take any water for the Ekadashi. Then you're thirsty. And then the moment you receive that water, then that water is so great because we feel the taste also in that water. Why? Because after a prolonged period of time, few hours, we are taking water. At that moment, we understand the greatness because we are almost dried up. We need some water, to ensure that our throat, is pacified. Our body is pacified. So likewise, dear devotees, our actions and activities, it has to be completely done for the pleasure of the Lord, for the root. Because we are Amsha. Amsha today, this Amsha is struggling. You see, so many people have so many problems. Husband problem, wife problem, children problem. For some children are not listening. For some wife is not listening. For some husband is not listening. Some have some kind of relationship problem within that. Some have office problems. Some do not get a job. They work, but somehow they do not get a job. Don't be dejected. If Krishna is not giving you anything, please understand Krishna is trying to teach us a beautiful lesson through that, dear devotees. Krishna is a merciful father. He never leaves alone. Do you see your father leaving you alone? No, because father has a relationship with us. He has love for us. He would never leave his child. Likewise, Krishna, he would never leave us. And life after life, he is not leaving us. We are not turning towards him. We are not seeing him. But he is always watching us. He's sitting in our heart right at this moment. He's sitting in our heart as Paramatma. And there is watching. He's telling to all the devotees, he's telling, don't worry, just relax. Just continue what you're supposed to. Do your duties, do your prescribed duties, and then move forward. That is what Krishna is actually telling. Vidyavinaya sampanne. Now, what is happening to this devotee? He elevated his consciousness in such a way that he is actually the real Brahmana. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. Because he came to that state. What is that state? Brahman. Brahman means seeing everyone on an absolute plane. Seeing everyone on a soul platform. That is actually Brahmana, real Brahmana. The person who asks for money, he's not a Brahmana actually. Dena, thoda paisa dena. No, no. Brahmana is always giving. He's not taking. Krishna arranges for him everything. He doesn't have to depend separately. The spiritual master will arrange by the mercy of the spiritual master, by the mercy of the Lord. Everything is arranged, dear devotees. Not that this is something, this is something. No, 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 no. Everything is arranged because he has that faith. Shraddha Shabde Vishwase Sadruda Nischaya. That is how he is actually seeing everyone on an absolute plane. That is how he is able to give respect to everyone. That is why everyone wants to come and hear from him. Because what is he? He is on the Brahman plane. He is not an ordinary person. Our acharyas, they are like transcendental. Divyam, Tapo Divyam Putrakaina Sattva. What we need to do from our side? Tapasya. What is that? Tapasya? Austerity. The four things, dear devotees, which we need to always work on. Tapa, Saucham, Daya, Satyam. What are these four things? They are pillars. Pillars of Dharma. We should follow this, dear devotees. क्या बोल रहे हैं? Tapaha. Tapaha means what? Austerity. Austerity means what? Austerity from staying away from this world. Oh, how is that? Staying away from this world. We have to live in this world. Yes, yes, yes. We have to live, but we shouldn't be connected to that world. For example, I'll tell an example. How austerity will work. You see jail, central jail. There are two kinds of people there. What is the first kind? The person who's actually serving in the jail is actually working in the jail. What is he called? Police, right? That is one person. What is second category? They're criminals, right? There are only two major categories. And then there are differentiation, different levels of criminals, different levels of police. We don't want to go into that detail. We want to be at the high level, okay? What is one? One is the cops, police. And then the other one is what? Is a criminal. Okay. Now, both are staying at the same place. Okay. Cop is also staying. Criminal is also staying. But the cops, they are not Like they are not put into a bar behind the bar. They just do their duty, what they're supposed to do. They have separate quarters to sleep. They're not part of that quarters, which is not congenial. They have good quarters, okay, where they can, where they can take rest, and go out. Okay. But for the criminals, what kind of quarter is that? Their quarters is like the place of suffering. They have to suffer in that place. But on the cops, they are not suffering actually. They get decent food, they get everything decently. They take care of themselves nicely. They work for the government, and then the government ensures that everything is taken care for them. Okay, because what are they doing? They are representing the government. Okay, so government is what? Krishna. Please understand this. Government is Krishna, and then the cops, they are the representatives of Krishna. Means what? Pure devotees. They are the representatives. That means they are there. So this jail is a material world. Please understand this. It's very important. The jail is a material world. And then the criminals are the one, they are rebellious. That means they're not taking shelter of the Lord. They're not taking shelter of Krishna, but they're taking shelter of the material nature. So when they are taking the shelter of this material nature, what happens? They suffer profusely. The suffering happens. But on the other side, the cops, what are they doing? They are not against the government. That means they are not against Krishna. They are for Krishna. They are working for Krishna. It's like the embassy. A US embassy is also there in India. They are living in India, but they are not living for India. They are actually serving America. They are there. They are there in India only. But what are they doing? Who are they representing? They are representing US. Likewise, dear devotees, this is possible. That means we can stay here, but we can work for Krishna. We can work for our acharyas. If you do this, happiness is your way. No doubt about this. If we aspire doing this, somehow, shape, or form, we should connect. We should work for Krishna. We should lead a sattvic life. This is called as austerity. Tapo divyam putrakayena sattva. Austerity means what? One comes to the plane of goodness. What is goodness? Waking up early in the morning. I was talking to a devotee yesterday. She was telling, Prabhu, it's difficult. 5:30 is difficult. To get up in the morning, it's difficult. I said, the moment you change some habits in your life, slowly, what is that? Why is it difficulty? Because we are in the mode of passion and in the mode of ignorance. Slowly, by changing our lifestyle, what is happening is we can get up early in the morning. Slowly, we should strive for that aspiration. One should aspire. This is called as tapasya. Getting up early means Prabhupada says one should get up at 4 in the morning at least. So we should put that goal. Prabhupada says this tongue has to be used only for the service of the Lord. That means it should be used. It should be used to discuss Krishna Katha. It should be used to discuss the glories of the pure devotees. That's all it has to be used. It has no other business. That means when we go to office, we actually work, but we work for Krishna, not for anything else. Just like a police officer, he is there, but he's actually representing the government. He's actually working for the government. Likewise, we should strive to work for Krishna. Because when we begin working for Krishna, what happens? Krishna will take care of us. When we do not work for Krishna, then it is only a karma bandhana, it is not karma yoga. Please understand, there is a difference. There is karma bandhana, there is karma yoga. Karma bandhana is like a shackle. It's like a shackle in our consciousness. It will not give satisfaction to the heart. Because what is happening? Why are we doing this? We are doing these actions for our thing, not for the pleasure of Krishna. That is why the Vidya Vinaya Sampanna is not manifesting. Because through Vidya Vinaya Sampanna, what happens? We see everyone equally. Mental adjustment is not. One should actually see. Krishna consciousness is not mental adjustment. That is actually gifted to us. We will actually analyze and assess that. Yes, yes, yes. So that's how we respect their devotees. Please understand. Amanitvam, Adam Vitvam. We discussed about that, right? Amanitvam is what? Humility. Who will give, who will be humble? One who respects the other person. Giving respect, but are not expecting. And if the person is giving us respect, we need to give it to our superiors, our spiritual masters. As simple as that. That is his greatness. He is respecting me. But I do not have any qualification to receive that respect. That person comes to the plane of humility. That person will become humble, genuinely, not superficially. Genuinely, he becomes humble. Through that genuinity, what happens is he will take this process seriously to the heart. Because, dear devotees, if we closely observe, we hardly have 20, 30 years in our life. In a natural way, in a normal way. On an average person, people might live for 70 years. If we take that into consideration, we might have somebody is in 40s, he has like 30 years more. If somebody is in 30s, he has like 40 years more, just an average. So, if this time is strictly used for the pleasure of the Lord, then this is the greatest time actually, greatest thing. After so many lifetimes, we got this opportunity. Because this human form of life is very rare. Please understand, if some are in 60s, some are in 50s, it's even less. The time is running or ticking off. Time doesn't stop, dear devotees. Likewise, the time has to be used maximum in this. It has to be used maximum to understand Krishna consciousness. Now, how is that sadhu seeing equally? Because his plane got changed. He's situated on the Brahmabhuta plane. Now, how is that Brahmabhuta plane established? By following the words of the Acharyas. Simply just following them. Whatever they say, if we do it, dear devotees, we get happiness and satisfaction in the heart. Because if you think about this, the police officer who is actually serving in the jail, he's actually in a difficult, because it's a difficult place, right? What is this central jail? That's not a normal home. It's a difficult place. But even though he's there in the difficult place, the government ensures that he's properly been taken care. Please see this. Likewise, Krishna, he ensures that we are taken care. But devotee is not expecting. Please understand this. The devotee on one side, he is not expecting that. Oh, my Lord has to take care of me. So from his side, he has no expectations. Because what is love? Do you see mother having any expectations from the child? Without any expectation, she serves him. He's like 1 year. He's like 6 months. Does a mother have any expectation from the child? No. Mother sheds that love to the child. She extends that relationship to the child. He has no idea that he should expect. He's like gentle. He's like very tender. He has no idea what's happening. So likewise, the devotees, the mother who is actually serving, what is she doing? No expectation. This is the state of consciousness of a devotee. He serves the Lord continuously, doesn't have any expectation because he's doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. When Hiranyakashipu, not Hiranyakashipu, when Nrsimhadev comes to see Prahlad Maharaj, then Nrsimhadev asks, he says, Dear Prahlad, please tell what you want. Tell, I will give you. He says, My dear Lord, I did not worship you for any expectation. Out of love, I did it. What I want, my dear Lord, you give me everything. You are taking care of unlimited living entities in this world. There's so many living entities. Who is taking care of them? Prabhupada says there's huge elephants in the forest. They eat like 100 kgs every day. Who is taking care? Who is giving food to them? Are we going and supplying them every day? No. Krishna is supplying through the material nature. So he's protected. The elephants are protected. So we don't have to worry too much in our life that, oh, this is not happening, that is not happening. If somebody puts the other person down, you shouldn't worry, dear devotees. For example, if a person comes to you and then tells something about another person, something ill, we shouldn't worry much about it. We should try to change the topic or leave that place. We need to understand this person is a little insecure. This person doesn't know how to give respect to others. We should quietly move away from that place. Because if we take that person's association, our Bhaktilata beej will be diminished. Whatever little bead is there, beej is there, bija, that seed, that will be diminished. Because what are we doing? We are not trying to give the respect, but we are trying to take the respect. We are trying to understand that no, everyone should respect me. Everyone should honor me. Everyone should show that I am great. Everyone should understand that I am great. What is this? That even after coming to the process, even after coming to the process of Krishna consciousness, still we are having some expectations out of it. What kind of expectation is that? Everyone should recognize me. This is bad. Krishna doesn't like this. One should be very plain at his heart. If you are plain, Krishna is ready with you. If you are simple, Krishna is ready with you. Just like mother, she's ready with the child because child is totally, he cannot walk. He cannot get up by himself. He's completely dependent on the mother. Don't you think that mother will not take care of the child? Mother will take care of the child without any calculations. Likewise, when we turn towards the Lord, this is actually beginning of devotion, dear devotees. What Arjuna did, that's what Arjuna also did. He turned towards Krishna. Please understand. It's a very subtle and very important science. Millions of lifetimes we turned away from Krishna. Now, through the process of Shravana and Kirtana, what are we trying to do is we are trying to turn towards the Lord. Please understand. When we turn towards the Lord, what is happening? That is the sign of progress. Oh, what do you mean by turning towards the Lord? Whatever our acharyas are telling, if you are doing, that is turning towards the Lord. As simple as that. First, we need to understand. Now, we are not like first time we are coming. We need to understand. We came to this process. We are trying to understand who Krishna is. What is his position? The moment we understand, the moment we are convinced, the moment we realize that our faith is fixed up, formed up, then what do we do? Just like Arjuna, he looked. He, what is he doing? He's turning towards Krishna. He's taking shelter of Krishna. This is watering the root. What is this, dear devotees? This is watering the root. When you water the root, what happens? the tree sampling increase, the size of the tree increase, the size of the plant increase. Because what are we doing? We are watering the sampling. It's very small, but slowly, slowly, through the shelter of sunlight, through the water, slowly, slowly it increases. Because what is it? It is taking the association of the ground, it is taking the association of the roots, it is taking the association of the sun, because it's not independent. The sampling doesn't grow independently. Likewise, we are also dependent. Just like the sampling is dependent. The tree, the plant sampling that eventually becomes a tree, huge tree. Likewise, we are also dependent. Just like they're dependent on the sun, they're dependent on the roots, they're dependent on the water. Likewise, we are also dependent on Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and eventually Krishna. Through that, not independently. Through that, we are dependent on Krishna. This is a science. This science, whoever understands this, their life becomes perfect. The greatest happiness in this world is to practice Krishna consciousness. Nothing else. Nothing gives satisfaction to the heart. Because the Atma, which is there in the heart, it is looking for that Baba. Dear devotees, the Atma is looking for that. What is it looking? It is looking for that happiness. We discussed only one aspect, that also very little, about austerity. Tapa, Saucham, Daya, Satya. We'll continue this discussion. But austerity is very, very important, dear devotees. If that austerity is not manifested, then the sign of progress will be diminished. We don't have to see that the other person is becoming austere or not. We have to see ourselves whether we are austere or not. Very important. So that's how we make progress. Tapasya. What is the tapasya which we can do in this Kali Yuga? Getting up early in the morning, chanting our rounds, hearing, doing our chores. That itself, that is the biggest austerity. Go to office, come back, again practice. Again, if there are rounds, chant your rounds, remaining rounds. Don't keep the rounds until evening period. Try to chant them in the morning. What happens? This is austerity. This is simple austerity actually. And what is another austerity? Giving respect. That is also austerity. Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. Because the sadhu is in the Brahman plane. That means he is in the plane of self-realization, of the Atma Gyan. Through that Brahmabhuta plane, what is he doing? Nasoshati Nakangshati. What is he coming? He is out of dualities. The world is full of dualities, dear devotees. The moment we are expecting respect while giving respect, that is also duality actually. Because what are we doing? We are giving respect, but we are also expecting. That is not right. One should give respect without having any expectation. Because this we are doing to please the Lord. Not that by giving respect, people will notice me. Not that while giving respect, people will observe me. No, no, no. We give respect just to give respect. Because when I give respect, Krishna is liking us. Krishna likes that. Krishna likes that attitude. Krishna likes that mentality. This we need to aspire for. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to stop here. I have a hard stop at 6:30. Anyone want to add anything? Want to share?
Arjun Prabhuji, Dhanu Pranam, always Shri Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. So nice. Katha. Prabhuji, one question is that I have been born and brought up in the Ramakrishna Mission environment. My parents are from Ramakrishna Mission initially.
Okay.
So until I came out of the country and found ISKCON reading Prabhupada books, I was there. Even 2 years back, all my books I returned back to the Ramakrishna Mission. I had a lot of books was reading.
Hmm.
So, and I came across a lot of Maharajas in Ramakrishna Mission,
Hmm.
and I saw them actually. When I was young, I was playing soccer before the prayer with them. The brahmacharis, they become Shannashi and Maharaj after that.
Hmm.
So I saw some of them that they are very calm, quiet, and you see some changes in their face, some kind of like glittering, and found there very even came across that someone cursing the Maharaj, but he's sitting with a small like a smiling, but very calm and quiet. So they are not Krishna conscious; they are Ramakrishna conscious. But they had the change happen also. Looks like very calm, quiet, Brahmabhuta Prashanatma. How do you explain that part, Prabhuji?
Actually, that is their training. They are trained in that way only. To be calm, to be peaceful. They concentrate on the energy of the Lord. They do not concentrate on the service of the Lord, but they concentrate on the energy. What is the energy of the Lord? To be humble, amanitvam, madambitvam, all the qualities which Krishna gives in Gita, pridelessness, selflessness, they manifest those qualities and they actually work on those qualities. Obviously, when they are working on those qualities, they come to the Brahman plane, which is what their goal is, which is what their desire is. But Brahman is just an introduction. So little peace and happiness will come when one follows the instructions of Krishna. But the only problem is they do not give importance to the person who is giving that instruction. So that's why they just remain there because they do not have a connection with the person. But they're indirectly connected. That is, they're also connected to the root, but indirectly because they're connected to the energy of the Lord. These are all energies of the Lord. These are all the qualities. What are the qualities? It's the manifestation, it's the internal energy of the Lord. Developing these good qualities. Obviously, they'll be peaceful. Because what are they doing? They're following the instructions of Krishna. But they cannot go to the spiritual world because they do not have a relationship with Krishna. That is a difference. Because they do not aspire for that. Because see, Krishna reciprocates to everyone based on their need and necessity, their desires. If we desire that, Krishna gives that. If we desire loving relationships, he gives that. It depends on what we are desiring. It depends on what state we want to remain. Based on that, he responds or reciprocates. So for them, the reciprocation is this, the energy of the Lord. That's where they remain. That's where they remain. Because there is another place for that also. It is Ramakrishna mission. It's a person. Ramakrishna is a person who took up the process of impersonalism. That's the name. That's how it came. When I was in Hyderabad, I used to go. When I was a small child, not just ISKCON Temple, I was also going to Ramakrishna Mutt. But what they do is they do not have the DTs, they do not have reverence worship there. They just sit there and then they just close their eyes, do meditation on nothing. That means what are they doing? They're focusing on the energy, but they're not giving importance to the Lord. That gives satisfaction. Yes, obviously. They are in the Brahmabhuta state. Na sochati na kankshati. They do not have any expectations. But why are they doing? There's a reason for that. Because they want to come out of this, because they understood this place is a difficult place. So that's why they want to be relaxed. That is another state. But we also want to come to Brahmabhuta state. Why? Because that is pleasing Krishna. That is the only difference. We do everything for the pleasure of Krishna. We do everything for the pleasure of our acharyas. But for them, there is no personalism, which the entire world is like that. If you see, if you touch every person, they do it only for their benefit. So that impersonalism is also like that. They do it only for their benefit. But a sadhaka, a devotee, he doesn't do it for his benefit. That is why devotees are great. They do it for the pleasure of Krishna. They do it for that is bhakti actually. But here in that it looks selflessness, but it is selfish actually. Because they want to become peaceful. That's why those traces will stay in our consciousness also. We should try to consciously avoid that. We cannot do it for one's own happiness. One should do it for the happiness of the Lord. That is a transformation. That is actually bhakti beginning because Arjuna he did not fight for himself, he fought for Krishna. That's why Krishna says Mahamanusmara Yidyacha. That's when devotional service, chapters of devotional service comes, the impersonalism, that vanishes actually. It burns off. Klesho adhikarasesha avyaktasakta chetasam. Avyakta hi gatir dukkam. What is that? Impersonalism. Krishna is telling about impersonalism in Gita. Klesho adhikarasesha. It is dukkha. Because eventually, even after going to the Brahman plane, still he has to come down. Because the jiva is always looking for ananda. He received sat, which is eternal, staying in the Brahman plane. But when the jiva aspires for that ananda, again he has to come to this material world and then practice Krishna consciousness. Making sense, bro?
Very nice. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. If you have caused an inconvenience, please excuse me. I will stop here. Let us all offer our humble obeisances unto all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desires who can fulfill the desires of everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyasya patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Let us all strive to give respect to the other devotee. Do not have any expectation of receiving any respect from them. This is a mood Krishna wants us to cultivate. Let us meditate on that.